Hey, what up, guys? It's your boy Ballin' Bad coming at you with a video on the 3-5-2 formation, FIFA 19, obviously. A lot of the pros and top elite players have been switching this formation the last couple of weeks. I just wanted to explain what's been working for me using it. It's been actually really good for me. I've been using it as like a secondary formation, but I know a lot of guys are using it straight out the back as a starting formation right away. So let's get straight into it. First, I'm going to show you guys the tactics and player instructions. That's probably the most important thing. But then I'm going to show you guys kind of explanations as to why it works, and also explanations for player selection, what players would work, because there is a demand for really good players in this formation that you can't just throw anybody anywhere. So we'll get into it now, though. So first off, with your tactics, you're going to want to go drop back, 2 width, 3 depth. With a balanced offensive style, 3 width, 8 in the box, and then corners and free kicks are pretty much irrelevant, but I like to keep them low just so I don't get countered myself. Stick to these tactics, and I'll explain exactly why they work, but just stick to these tactics for now. Let's head over to the player instructions. Both strikers on getting behind, stay forward. Your cam is on, stay forward as well. Both left and right mid on comeback and defense. Both your CDMs on stay back while attacking, cover center. And all 3 center backs are on default. So I know that's a lot of information very fast. I'm gonna explain why it works, what's been working for me, why it's been working for me. First off, just want to say I will not use a formation if I can't defend with it. So this formation passes the test defensively. I got Elite 3 with it. My buddy David, that you guys know from the streams, got 27 and 3. That's Elite 1. A lot of top 100 players have used this formation, streamers, etc. People are using this formation because it's good. And the reason it's good is because it is solid defensively. No one would use it if you couldn't defend with it. I know a lot of people see 3 at the back and they're like, wow, it can't be good. You can't. I thought the same. I thought you couldn't defend with it. But yeah, first off, I just want to say like the 3-5-2 really turns into a 5 at the back, especially with comeback on defense for these 2 players. They drop back when you're out of possession, the opponent's attacking. You have a back line of 5 at the back with 2 CDMs right in front of them. It's very, very, very hard to break that down. I played against it. I did some friendlies against David, who's a top 100 Elite 1 player. Played some players in the weekend league actually that were using it, and Foot Champs this weekend that were using it. It's hard to break down that 5 at the back plus 2 DMs, 7 players back. It's really hard to break down, especially when people are using drop back. I mean, we thought 4-2-3-1 drop back was hard. This is increasingly even more so hard to drop to break down. I'm sorry about that. To break down. 3 at the back are always at the back when you're getting countered. So that's another key point in this formation. All 3 of these players are going to be staying back while you're attacking. So in a traditional 4 at the back formation, these 2 fullbacks kind of push up a little bit. I mean, even if you tell them to stay back, you guys have seen it. They push up. They want to get on the ball, whatever. They don't really stay back, and they're usually quite wide. With this formation, you always have 3 players back to defend against counters, no matter what. Plus, help is on the way. These players are tracking back. These 2 DMs are tracking back. So they're going to stop those late runs from the cams and the center mids, whatever position they are. Those players will take care of that, but these 3 in the back are always taking care of the central, those initial through balls that really kill you this year, especially if the opposition is playing drop back and they counter you with the long balls. This formation will help you with that a lot. Like I said, both DMs, these 2 are key, just like a 4-2-3-1. They're right in front of the defensive line. Whether you're in possession and you lose it, they're going to be tracking back, or they've had the ball for a while, they're still sitting right in front of those back 3 center backs and the fullbacks. Pretty much perfect. This year, 2 CDMs, it's the best way to play. You have all that coverage for first time shots, finesse shots. It's basically 2 CDMs is basically the way to go this year. Although the defense is so good, I would not play a formation myself that couldn't attack. I wouldn't enjoy it. I don't like winning games 1-0. I like scoring 2, 3, 4 goals. So this formation does check that box as well, which is why it's so good. You have the defensive solidity that we just talked about, but you also have a lot of attacking options. So first off, the 2 most dominant in terms of people using them formations this year are the 4-1-2-1-2 and the 4-2-3-1. There's some 4-2-2-2, but those 2 are the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-1-2-1-2 are the best 2 as far as people are familiar with them. So if you look at this formation, you pretty much have both. You have your diamond, right? You have your 2 strikers, your cam, your 3 players here, plus your center back is kind of like your CDM in a way when you're building up. Not all the way up the field, but when you're first initially, you know, building up out of your own half. But at the same time, you have the fluidity of having 2 wingers that are getting up and down like a 4-2-3-1, like your wide cams. The one thing that this does better than the 4-2-3-1 is out of possession, obviously you have your 5 at the back, but also in possession, you have 2 strikers in the box. Let's say you're coming down the wing with Firmino. You have 2 strikers in the box plus this player on the back post, which can be very OP because you do, you know, let's say this guy's getting marked by his left back. This guy's getting marked by center back, and this is a right back marking up here against Telles. You have 1v1s everywhere. Plus Neymar is, you know, occupying both DMs. Your CDMs are basically free if you need to swing the ball back around. It's pretty much perfect balance of the 4-1-2-1-2 and the 4-2-3-1. That's the best way I could explain it going forward. It's a perfect balance. You have everything you can need with central, 2 DMs, a cam, 2 strikers. It's basically perfect in terms of the mix. Now, the one thing that does get tricky with this formation is player selection. The left mid and right mid in this formation are extremely demanding positions. You definitely need kind of do-it-all players, aerial threats going forward and defending, pace, defending, passing, finishing. I mean, you want box-to-box pacey players. That's basically the best way you could describe it. So like a Telles, Firmino has some good defending stats, but I would probably even sub him off sometimes. Maybe kick Goretzka out there to the right mid position, or kick maybe bring on like a Florenzi or even someone even like a Cancelo, even taller. But those 2 positions are very demanding, so player selection is very key. Both your strikers, ideally you would like to be tall, pacey, strong strikers. Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, the new team of the season Benzema, team of the season Aubameyang, players of that nature. Your cam, you want it to be a do-it-all all-star. Neymar, Hazard, Mbappe, team of the year, team of the season soon. Doesn't necessarily have to be great in the air, but there are times that I'll sub this Neymar off and put a Benzema here, team of the season, and then put Ibrahimovic here and go full-on just sweaty 6'2" plus attackers with great jumping, great passing, great finishing, etc., pace, whatever, everything. And it really is overpowered when you have these 2 coming down the wings, or whoever you have on the wings, crossing into 3 of those players. The center backs are going to lose one of them, and you get a lot of free headers versus, you know, typical 4 at the back formations. Player selection wise, DMs are the same as 4-2-3-1. You want, you know, your typical pacey, tall, strong, good defensive players, good passing, good long shooting, just your typical thing. The only other position obviously left is the 3 center backs, and the one trick with the center backs is you need them to be pacey, because basically what happens is when you're playing with the ball and you lose it, or you shoot and it gets blocked and you lose it, whatever happens, these 2 wide players against a 4-2-3-1 are basically going to be marking the wide attackers, right? More than likely those guys are fast. Like Mbappe, Neymar, Hazard, Ronaldo's, the icon, Ronaldinho, whoever. So these guys on the sides need to be able to get out to them or track back with them and wait for the rest of the defense to come back. So that can get expensive, especially when you consider center backs that have 80 plus pace is what I would recommend, 80 plus pace. They're gonna be pretty expensive. So the player selection can get pretty pricey. Going into the cons of this formation, that really is the first con, and pretty much the only con. The players that you need to run this formation successfully are quite expensive. So if you don't have a really expensive team, you know, leave a comment, put your team in the down below, and you know, I'll help you out. Come to my Twitch stream, I'll help you out. We'll try to work it out, but you may not be able to play this formation. I get a lot of people telling me, oh, I have Marcelo, or I have Alba, oh, I have Semedo, oh, I have whoever, right? Whoever it is that doesn't fit the exact way I just said. And they can't play them in these positions, or they have a fullback that can't play in the back 3. And they struggle because you do need really good players to play this formation. I truly believe that. I mean, you can try it, see if you like the shape. Maybe you're better than me and you can play with lesser players in these positions and do well. But I truly believe, especially in the wide player positions and these full center backs, kind of full back positions on the sides, especially, you do need some key traits, key stats, like I just explained. And the only other con with this formation is in game, actually, wise. If you lose the ball, let's say you win the ball with Militao and you kick it to Hullet and you're ready to start building up, and you make an errant pass and you lose it, as soon as you get the ball to Hullet, these wide players are going, the strikers are gone, and your cam is kind of starting to creep up. So the one thing I'd be worried about with this formation, and I have had it burn me, is turning the ball over in the middle of the field and getting countered. Because if you lose the ball with Hullet, and Tellez is gone, Firmino's gone, Neymar's kind of gone, these two strikers are definitely gone, Goretzka's kind of hanging around, these three are back here still, you basically are going to be playing one-on-one at every spot. If you turn the ball over to a guy that's playing a 4-2-3-1, he has his 3 cams and his striker here, you're playing one-on-one, and that's a bad position to be in FIFA 19, playing a bunch of one-on-one, because of the La Croqueta, the spacing, the crosses. They're gonna find a way if you're playing against a decent player if you turn the ball over in the middle of the field. But besides for that, I mean, that's any formation really. But besides for that, this formation is super solid going forward, super solid defending. Like I said, if you need any help with the player selection, let me know on my stream or let me know on the YouTube comments. We'll figure it out, get you competent players to play in the positions the best that we can within your budget. And yeah, guys, I appreciate everyone watching. If you liked it, leave a like. All the links to my Twitch, Twitter, all that good stuff will be in the bio. If you have any questions, again, just comment. And thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Peace.